So I spend a lot of time alone. Some might say it's by choice, but it's usually not. Alright, you can think of me this way. I am an introvert who figured out that life is just way more fun as an extrovert. I mean, as far as doing things goes, there's statistically more to do outside, trees, nature, cars, Keanu Reeves, inside, existential thoughts, the void incoming, Skittles, but I kind of got over it all pretty quickly. The exotic nightclubs where people kind of just hover around the dance floor. Not actually dancing though, because that would be weird. Or like board games where people act like it's a real game, even though it's clearly not, and they're just cards. When I wake up in the morning, my social battery begins at negative 12%. And by the time I make it outside, it's lower, which might seem strange, especially if you identify as an extrovert. But if you've ever related to, I cannot wait to leave this social gathering and go back to my room, you and I probably have a very similar definition of being alone, which results in something. Hi, everyone. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Late Night with Prince. I'm your host, Prince. That's right. This is a show where we're going to try to answer some of life's toughest questions without getting too crazy town banana pants. Today, I'm going to talk about something that makes sense because we've all experienced it. There are probably more introverts watching this, but I would hope that you have some extroverted friends that make fun of you for being alone all the time. Maybe send them this video the next time they insist you go outdoors with them. I really like this picture. Keanu Reeves is playing with an action figure of himself, which is already pretty crazy town banana pants to begin with. But I don't think it's an ego thing or anything like that. It's probably more like you play enough characters that eventually an action figure of yourself begins to feel just as real. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. I mean, I get why people think he's boring on cinema. Personally, I just think it's his style. But boring or not, Keanu Reeves sure seems to get how to be alone. But I hear you thinking, we're not famous Hollywood stars. We don't have our own action figures. I mean, most of the time, you are definitely not alone by choice. Not with all the crying you do. So, how is this useful to us? How is this useful to you? Well, here's an idea. No matter what you do, at some point, you will be alone. It could have been today. It could be near the end. But at some point, you will have to sit with yourself, and there will be nothing to watch on Netflix, and your phone will be too far away to reach for, and you will begin to reconsider every decision you've ever made in this life. And this could last entire minutes, but it will happen. So the question isn't really, how is Keanu Reeves useful to us? It's how I deal with it. And he's a national treasure. Step number one, be afraid. Just kidding. What do you enjoy? Do that for like 12 days, every day after work or school or what have you. Do that like it's your job. Oh, and if possible, stay up at least one night to do that thing. Step number two, read like a little bit, just whatever you think is interesting. Step number three, go outside in nature, not clubs, not, competitive card games where people act like they're not really into it, but they all actually are. Breathe deeply. Meditate. You've probably heard this described as mindfulness, which is cool. Basically, everything before this step will kind of prepare you for this because you're getting used to what it's like to be alone. Congratulations. Chill out, man. You've made it. Alright? Solitude is bliss.